to it, but it's a great schedule. This is one of the best GDQ schedules in a long, long time.
Yeah, looks like my mic was off for potentially the entire show thus far. Thank you, Crave, for letting me know, and I can see myself on the mixing board now. So what's up, Philadelphia sports fans? No, sorry.
I've at least heard you, so
Sorry for
that's good.
everything in the beginning. We just got a sub from Keith. What up, Keith? So yeah, it's been one of those shows apparently. I'm good now.
What's it feel like going live up against a GDQ?
I'm more concerned that I'm up against a GDQ right now than I am a Sixers playoff game right now. And that says many things about many things. But yeah, it's always the toughest. There's 2 weeks, and we actually got a kind of a third one this year with the online the Corona relief one. But
fourth if you count GDQX fourth.
Yeah,
they do one for Twitch.
So it's always very tough doing it, and I know the Sonic block is about to start, so I'm like, oh, it's the best part of the day is happening right now. What the hell is GDQ? It is games done quick. It's a 24/7 online marathon right here on Twitch. I guess that's probably a good thing. We could have let people know what it is for other
speed running.
Yeah, and one of the things I was going to say is there are two people and one event that has really gotten me into speedrunning. It's you, it's my friend Steve, and it's games done quick. And it just seems like every year, every 6 months, it just gets bigger and bigger. I'm still thinking they're gonna break 2 million.
So, like, when you say that, for the uneducated, speedrunning is just basically trying to beat a video game as fast as humanly possible, whether any means necessary. And there's different categories. So, I ran and kind of run still the Super Mario games, and I'm most famous with my 87 followers on Twitch. Nothing big, but for having a top 100 time in Super Mario Brothers. No longer is it a top 100 time, but at one point I was a top 100 player in the world, where I beat that game in 5 minutes and 16 seconds. It's any percent. So any percent means you beat it any way you can with warps and stuff like that. So I would take the warps in 4-2. And 2-2. But anyway, there's also warpless or 100%. So you beat it all the way through. No glitches, no warps. And every game under the sun gets speed runs. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up, they just got done speed running The Last of Us Part 1 on grounded mode, which is the insane difficulty, in just about 3 hours. That's insane for a 15-hour game. So you might ask yourself, well, that's a little nerdy. Why the hell are these guys talking about that? All GDQ is special to us because of the charities involved in it. Doctors Without Borders and Prevent Cancer Foundation. They raise upwards of $2 to $2.5 million in just 7 days of watching people play video games. That's how cool the speedrunning community is, and that's why it's special to us.
Yeah, and again, it's a great way to watch people shred through games with likeness that you had, like I said, there's a Sonic block. They always have these blocks, and they had the Disney block earlier in the I think it was yesterday morning. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun.
I really quick want to just point out for anybody that wants to get into a speed game, Super Mario 64 is one of the craziest speed tech games ever. Go watch a 120 star run of that by Cheese05.
I was gonna say,
and your mind will be blown. That's my first ever speed run with Siglemic running 120 star before I even knew.
Chris M 360 is another. He speed runs a plethora of games, but he does 64. Yeah, there's a lot.
He's a German boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones.
Yep. Yeah. I would recommend a Pokemon game, an older one. That the world record for a Pokemon game, Pokemon Red and Blue, is an hour and a half. It took us 30 hours as kids. Yeah. So just wrap your mind around it. You want to watch a good speed game, a Tony Hawk game. It's an amazing speed game.
They just did a couple Tony Hawks. They even did a Disney skate game, which I had no idea. That's just literally Tony Hawk with a skin. That was funny. Never knew that game. And that's the other thing. You get to just come up with these games that you never knew existed. But hey, we are a sports talk show. We're up against a 8 o'clock tonight. I saw Joe in chat saying, what happened to the Phillies offense today? It's a good way to get into. I do want to start off tonight's show with some Phillies talk. we'll do a little Phillies talk, and then oh, by the way, there's this Flyers playoff game. It's an elimination game tonight, where I think we will close it out and complete my prediction of Flyers in 5. A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So
spoilers.
yeah, that was my prediction at the beginning of the series, and yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm feeling good, but yeah, what I'm not feeling good about is this Phillies team.
What? How could you not?
Still not feeling good. I lost you in an ear as I play with these chords. Chat, it's just gonna be one of those shows where we have technical difficulties galore. Yeah,
listen. 3 minutes before we went live, I was dropping the kids off at the pool. So that's just the type of night we're in for, ladies and gentlemen. When we're trying to do Flyers pregame live and we talk about speed running in Phillies, we got a great Flyers pregame live show. No, of course we'll get to it, but I'm optimistic about this Phillies team. I mean, at the same time, that was their 3rd road game of the season. Like, they've played so much at Citizens Bank Park that I almost kind of let it slide. You took one last night from Boston. You come in, obviously getting out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning and let him off the hook, Hart off the hook. Like that was a little rough. You had one hit after the first inning. So like the offense was just listless. That Jake and the bullpen wasn't going to hold a 2-0 lead, and they didn't. But all in all, the bullpen pitched damn well today. All things considered, in the larger scope of it, they pitched damn well, especially Connor Brogdon. Ramon Rosso, I don't know why he pitched 2 innings, but he pitched well, at least in his first inning. So there's signs of life to this bullpen that we didn't see before. And I think Joe Girardi has finally figured out the roles. And I don't think that's a good thing, because that means Tommy Hunter is our setup guy. But at the same time, at least we don't have to mix and match and figure it out. Brogdon's had a great outing today, showed you why he deserves to be called up. Ramon Rosso, if he gets his control under him, then he's going to be an important, maybe 7th inning guy. Jose Alvarez is still effective. Adam Morgan has had 3 straight really solid appearances. So all in all, while not great, the bullpen is coming together, and this offense is they lead the league in runs scored. They had a bad day. You move on to a doubleheader against Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah. What up, Jim? Jim Titus in chat. Greg, a name you're probably familiar with. But yeah, see, we're getting the push-ups already coming in, and we'll get to them. I will give my duty and give my 10. But yeah, as far as this team goes, it was nice to see Brogdon get a little bounce back. It was, I think, fair to say that Girardi needed a little time, I guess, to figure out some roles. But yeah, now you got, like you were saying, Tommy Hunter's your setup. Nervous Nearest still is the closer. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, just to take one of your to take a page out of your book.
Can you imagine though, Ranger Suarez and David Robertson both throwing, both reported back good bullpen sessions. Can you imagine? Because we have no good right-handed arms. I mean, Rosso and Brogdon, we just talked about. Neris you're right, he's a little iffy. But if you can add those 2 arms to the bullpen and you can get rid of the 2 bottom guys, whoever, I don't care at this point, like, that's huge. And if Vince Velasquez gets his head out of his you-know-what, because, we do need starters for doubleheaders just like tomorrow. But at the same time, he's a reliever now. He's got to wrap his head around that. Girardi's going with Spencer Howard. At least I really hope so.
Yeah.
And that just, if you take Velasquez, throw a 98, Robertson, Suarez, add him to this pen, it is 100 times better.
Well, to that point, people keep asking, they got to go out and get someone. They got to go. Well, here's the thing about going out and getting someone. Sure, it'd be fun if they could, but they're just not going to be able to. You have to realize that every team in the MLB wants bullpen pitching, wants more. And this year, more than ever, it's a shortened season and 16 teams are making the playoffs. Your only help is coming from within. These young guys have to step up. These old guys that are coming off of injuries have to be healthy and have to be productive. If we could get a solid 20 appearances out of David Robertson, that would change everything.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I guess 20 is...
10.
Yeah, 10 to 15.
There's only 60 games, and they're already almost halfway.
And then maybe 70% of those be decent showings, quality.
You
But
ready for this? We're not even a month into the season, and we're already a third of the way done. So asking big things out of anybody is a lot. I mean, to me, there's two ways to improve this bullpen. One, we already covered. The second is picking up people off of, whether they were waived or, DFA'd, whatever that looks like. That's where Clintack has to get smart, because that's where Pat Gillick was great. Is the little
JC
tiny picker.
Romero's,
Scott Air, JC Romero, Matt Stairs, the little moves that, you know what, Clintack does deserve some credit for Jay Bruce. He deserves a lot of credit for Corey Dickerson, although they didn't retain him. He's missed on almost Jose Alvarez, but he's missed on so many other maneuvers that I don't want to pick from my depleted farm system that just called up its top two prospects, by the way. Spencer Howard pitches in game 1 tomorrow. Velasquez will start game 2. So he's out for a relief role tomorrow, but they're 7-inning games. So, just go a complete game. I don't want to deplete my farm system anymore out of the 5 teams, maybe because the Marlins and Orioles are playing well, that are going to be dead sellers at their line. Do I want the guy from the Royals, or do I want the latest pirate on the market? I don't think so. So I'd rather just keep my prospects, keep building my farm system, hope that Ranger Suarez, who didn't have an injury per se, he did battle COVID, can come back and be effective like he was last year. You get something like you said out of Robertson. And then when Velasquez puts on his big boy pants outside of doubleheaders, he pitches, 2 innings a week. That way they can save him fresh for all the 35 doubleheaders they have coming up. And I think the Phillies kind of solve it that way and maybe make a really smart pluck off the DFA wire, get lucky, and move on.
Is this team still a playoff team in your eyes, even with, especially with the 16 teams?
Yeah, they can't get above 500, and they can't win more than 4 games. It's been 2 years plus, 2 years and 2 weeks, 2 years and 2 weeks to the day that they have won 5 in a row. So it's been a long, long time. A lot of Gabe Kapler runs that were going on that never happened. Girardi had that chance to not only put them above 500 today, but also get the elusive 5 game. They did not get it. But the bright side, you're facing a really mediocre to bad Toronto team in a doubleheader tomorrow, and you could be above 500 by day's end. So all said and done, my little bet with our guy Joe Heston might come to my favor, where earlier this week it wasn't looking so good.
Yeah. And Joe Heston, by the way, Flyers Cup Crazy in chat, the man solely responsible for the Carter Hart meme that has become infamous on Facebook.com/WarRoomPhilly. The anybody shoots, and then it's Bugs Bunny as Carter Hart. So yeah, you'll probably be seeing that again today as the shutout streak looks to continue. But yeah, this Phillies team right now, personally, I'm still down on them. Gun to my head, I'd say no, that they're not a playoff team right now, but I'm gonna be hopeful. Is? I mean, I'm just down. You know what I mean? I would say.
Let me ask you this: first and second place makes it. Are they better than the Marlins? They just proved that they're better than the Mets, and the Nationals are reeling, and Steven Strasburg is back on the IL. All you really have to do is be better than Kyle, and you'll make the playoffs from being in second place alone. They might be the 8th seed, but they're a playoff.
And the 8th seed is good and fine for me, by the way, too.
Yeah, because then you get the Dodgers.
Just make it,
Listen, we own the Dodgers in the playoffs. We own the Dodgers.
Specifically in the NLCS, if we can get to that point.
That's absolutely
and
right.
if we can get to that point, then things are going real good this year.
I wonder what the first round will be called. I guess the play-in round or the wild card round.
The extra wild card.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I don't think they announced
the wild card.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just making sure everything we're all caught up.
People are saying the Marlins beat us. That doesn't mean they're a better baseball team. We play the Marlins 10 times? That means we have 50 games against everyone else. You don't just.
I'm still not convinced. We'll see. Yeah, I think we're a better team than the Marlins. It's the other 3 teams.
It's not the Mets. The Mets stink.
Just because we beat the Mets, they could.
Stroman opted out. Syndergaard hurt.
And by the way, can we talk about Stroman opting out? And I know it's the Mets, and that already makes us happy. But the way he did it. Can we just talk about the way he did it?
He got his money.
Yeah, because for how many, we had to do it this year for Spencer Howard, Connor Brogdon, Alec Boehm, where you didn't bring these kids up right away to get the year of service. It's kind of nice to see it happen in reverse, and it's even better that it happened to the Mets organization. But man, it's nice to see a player get theirs every now and then.
My favorite thing happening in chat right now is people saying, "I'm so hyped, let's go," and then they're also saying, "Philly suck." What? Let's get hyped! Come on, people!
I love being bipolar.
Sports are back. Can we just enjoy the ride? We got 51 more or 41 more games to play, baby. Bryce Harper bombs for days. He's the best player in the National League right now. Let's
take it back.
go.
It's JT Real Muto.
He had the worst at bat of the season today in the first inning. Struck out on 3 against a kid who's topping out at 86. Like, let's go. But I mean, my goodness, we could have a full hour show just talking about how they need to sign JT Realmuto. That's a whole other thing. Yeah. But
my Phillies shirt just came in this week, as well as this fresh Konechny. So
is it a Bohm shirt?
No, JT. I got the real.
JT, got you. Yeah, oh, yeah. I won't buy the jersey until he's signed. I'll go with the Bohm.
I bought it as a statement, like I want the Phillies to see that where their 3 cents from my shirt is coming from, and to see those royalties.
People keep saying to pop the shirt. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, they want the shirt off. That doesn't happen.
No. Twitch doesn't allow nipples.
Oh yeah, I'd get banned. That's good.
You get banned from Twitch, and you're my boy. I don't want to do that to you.
And my back hair would be too much for the push-ups.
My man boobs would be too much.
But yeah, to pop the shirt in it's them reminding me that the push-ups have to happen, and how God. What we'll do is we'll make the push-ups our transition into Talking Flyers hockey, which is going to come up 7:30, give or take.
Yeah, that'll give us a good amount of time.
So we can wrap up the Phillies talk. We got a good amount of to still talk about. But we'll get it in there. And I was just looking. I saw a Bryce Harper comment, and then chat went crazy.
Someone just said nipples for days, and that concerns me. We won't report you. I appreciate everybody out there who wants to see the nips, but
can we talk about how all the Bryce Harper haters are quiet this year? That's from Joe in chat, Joe Heston.
There's a lot of players that the haters have been quiet on. I mean, like even the Hoskins haters.
Where are they? Yeah, like I'm not quiet. I've been very vocal on my hate for Hoskins
because he's been dominant the last 7 days, and he's still he's not a 2-hole hitter.
Just hit his first home run.
Since September of 2019, almost a calendar year.
So it's hard to call a power hitter dominant when he just hit his home run.
Said in the last week he's been dominant, and he's and you know what? His home run was to right field, right field, 380. Would have been out in all 30 ballparks, and on top of that, he pulls the ball 91% of the time. So for him to go to right, and even that hit against the Mets that cleared the bases was to right center, that's a huge thing for him because he pulls so much. That'll help with the shift. That'll help with the way he gets pitched. That's just him taking the ball where it's pitched and putting it in play. And you just love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently what chat also loves to see is Keith uploaded a video apparently on his Instagram, and he did the push-ups, and it looks like Crave is claiming Keith is an American hero, which I love. I love it. Harper, I'm seeing more of the Harper love. Harper's the man. Love Harper. Yeah. I think like the Harper haters, if you will, I feel like you only hear from them in 2 places. And it's both of them are clickbait. It's like the clickbait radio hosts, and like you see that from like trolls on Facebook, like giving Harper hate. Like, oh, if Harper's so good, how come the Nationals won after he left? Like failing to acknowledge that the baseball is a 25-man roster. Things like that. Like,
and that Juan Soto is basically a god.
Yeah,
of baseball.
So it's like.
Bryce Harper, and I mean this in all sincerity, is a bargain at $330 million. Yeah, he's a bargain
because you're spreading that out over 13 years. Like people have to remember that, and it's like it's not like he's making $330 million every time he hits a baseball. Like I think that number gets thrown around like far too often, to be honest, and like when you don't take into consideration a lot of things.
The guy has played incredible defense since coming here. He hustles Every single hit down the line, he hustles because he knows Philly. He just gets it. If he dogs it, Twitter will blow up, radio will blow up, and his name will be out there in a negative light. He doesn't want that. All of his social media posts, he praises Philly. He does all that. He waited till he was here to announce his baby, and then made it a Philly thing. He thanked the Nationals without ever thanking the Nationals for playing there 7 years and being drafted #1 overall. He just gets it. Yeah. The way he slides into, he stole third the other day. I think it was last night.
Yeah.
And he's muddy and dirty. He plays the game hard every day. Allen Iverson style. And he is exactly what we paid for. The big ticket items on the Phillies outside of Jake Arrieta, $25 wasted $1 million, they've all performed pretty well, reasonably up to expectations. Zach Wheeler has been phenomenal since we got him. He's been phenomenal. So it's really just the smaller moves, like you said, that round out the 25, now like 28, that really make me, second guess the team. Obviously, the bullpen being the weak point, but going into today's game, the starting rotation of the 6th best ERA. Who would have seen that one coming from a group that includes Max Scherzer Jr., a.k.a. Zach Eflin, who's striking out everybody again now? So I totally believe. I think the starting pitching is good enough. I think the bullpen's finally coming around, and the offense is already there. Scott Kingery is a joke. Let's just, I say that in knowing that he came off of a really bad sickness and he's got to get his timing down. I shouldn't say he's a joke, but his at-bats are, and he should be at Lehigh Valley figuring it out, not here.
I think he's at least now at the better position for him until he figures anything out, but he's back in center field. And while I don't like that defensively, if you're going to have him in the lineup, at least, taking Roman Quinn out is the easier solution, especially when, Goose is just...
He's loose, baby.
Can we talk about how he's just on fuego? Like, insane.
I wrote an article about him that I published this morning, and it's Phil Gosselin's world, and we're just living in it. Guy hit a scorcher 65-mile-an-hour exit velo today that squibbled through for a base hit. Then he actually hits a scorcher in a second at bat that gets caught. Go figure. It's baseball. Gotta love it. But Phil Gosselin
launched one over the monster last night.
Yes, he did, and against
which that game I think just ended.
Both these games were brutally long. But.
Yeah, a lot of balls thrown.
Phil Gosselin, man. All right, let me ask you this, because I think Phil Gosselin deserves playing time. It's tough to find him ABs. I get it, especially when Segura's healthy. But outside of the Goosey, would you rather in center Roman Quinn, switch hitter with speed, or Kingery, the guy can do it? He's just not.
This is... I'm going to give a little bias into this answer, admittedly, but not really a Roman Quinn guy and still want to believe in Scott Kingery, so I go Kingery. Again, production-wise, though, I think the argument is really there for Roman Quinn. But I guess my final argument, if you will, is I got to go with the higher ceiling. And in my opinion, Scott Kingery can play multiple positions for one. So defensively, he has the higher ceiling, and offensively, much higher ceiling than Roman Quinn, who again has looked like pretty decent in his playing time this year. I got to give it to him.
Anything above the 9-hole, he's out for me.
I agree for either of them. I don't know who you were talking about, but I agree. If it's Kingery or Quinn or Hazley, I agree. Even when Hazley's back.
Quinn, I was talking about Quinn specifically because when Kingery's on, he can hit 7th, and I'd be fine with it. Hell, he could hit 2nd, and I'd be fine with it when he's on. And Quinn, I don't think can be that on. To your point, I think Quinn's ceiling is a lot lower than Kingery's. I think the switch hit and the speed is what Girardi is preferring, because when Quinn gets on base, man, he wreaks havoc. And the fact that he stayed healthy for 19 games,
and his personal high.
It is. I mean, the fact that his IL stint this year was because he had a sore throat. Like that's pretty impressive for him. So even when he's eaten, round in first twice already, slipped and fell right on his platoon. But I love what Kingery brings when he's on. He's just so off Send him to Lehigh Valley. You're paying him regardless. You signed him to, I think, 6 and 24. So you're paying him regardless. So send him down. Get Gosselin the at-bats while he's hot. You know it's probably not sustainable for the whole season. So then Quinn can roam center. Gosselin plays second, or he DHs against a lefty. Segura can fit back in second base almost in a full-time role. Or if, even Didi needs a day off, there's Segura. If Bohm needs a day off, there's Segura. Hell, there's Kingery. But, I'm talking Kingery being down right now. Kingery causes problems for Girardi when he's trying to make a lineup, and I don't need that right now. I'm okay with Roman Quinn making horrible defensive decisions like he has been. If he gets on base a little bit, steals a couple bags, and scores a bunch of runs, I would much prefer Kingery to be down in Lehigh Valley right now.
Yeah, and I just pulled it up. Kingery, he's making 1.5 this year. It's his base salary.
Kingery's making 4. He's signed a 624.
Yeah.
So it's an extension pass. So he's going to be $4 million.
So it's his base. Yeah. Okay. His base salary and then his luxury tax salary is 4. That's what I got.
Yep.
According to Sport Track.
Luxury tax is what you want to look at. That's the AAV.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Today I learned. So yeah, it's funny because you hear that a lot. Oh, the contract. And it's like, baseball terms, that's still not a lot, but like you are paying him, and you're not. Well,
they paid him that before he took a major league swing.
Yeah, I get it. And again, if he pans out, then it looks great, but
yeah.
Right now it does not.
You know what's crazy? And then we'll get the Flyers, but what's crazy is after this season, we're already halfway through that contract. It seems like that time flew by.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. He's already in his 3rd year.
Yeah, and it probably feels like that too because we haven't got the benefits or like it was a steal. Like we haven't felt like we got that part of the contract yet.
No, for like half a season last year we did. And
that
was it.
Yeah, and he looked decent in the the play-in games or whatever, the summer games. He had a couple homers.
Done quick.
This summer, yeah. The what was it? Summer Camp 2.
Summer Camp.
I guess it was called.
Summer Camp 2.0.
So he looked good there, but the regular season started and he's been struggling. He's been struggling, but you know who has not been struggling, Greg?
I hope you're about to say what I hope you're.
The Philadelphia Flyers are not struggling. We call that a segue in the biz, boys. We call that I saw in chat whose TV is bigger, mine or yours. I think we've gone over this pre-show once before, and I think it's yours, right?
I have it. This is an 85-inch television.
Oh yeah, that's yours by a long shot. It's yours by almost 2. So there we go.
I will not be giving my address out anytime soon.
And both of us have the same exact mic. Greg's just got a little screen and a pop filter on his. Yeah. But yeah, I think
mine's a lot closer to my face.
I think we both rock the Yeti blue.
Yeah, baby.
But it is Flyers talk time, and it also is. I guess I gotta drop down and give the chat 10. So I'll get to that, but I'll start a little Flyers talk so we can have something going while it's going on. Greg, what are your thoughts just in general? Because it's been a while since we got to talk Flyers hockey. It's been a lot of Phillies focus since for your shows. It's here. We got bubble hockey. The Flyers are now the 1 seed. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings as we approach, an elimination game tonight?
My thought is that Flyers tattoo I got 7 years ago is finally paying off.
Oh yeah,
it's 7 years old, 7.5 now. I got it in March of 2013. So that's finally a thing that I can say I'm proud. I'm going to add the cup behind it in just a couple months, so that's going to be rad. Anybody that knows me knows that I have bled orange and black my entire life. I grew up a hockey kid in a baseball family. So hockey has my heart, baseball has my soul. And this is finally the retribution that I've been looking for the Flyers haters for so many years. I still can't stop thinking about an NBC article, or maybe it was somebody that I used to write for had posted something along the lines of who's been the most accomplished team of the decade. Sixers, Phillies, Eagles. And they didn't even ask. There are 4 options on a Twitter poll, and they blatantly ignored just putting the 6-letter word or whatever, 7, like that bothers me so much when that's intentionally done, because the comment section is just going to blow up, and I'm a sucker, so I went for it. By the way, the Flyers are outside. Well, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but I'm saying like the Flyers, more playoff appearances, more playoff series wins. They made the Cup Finals in 2010. The Sixers haven't even made it to a finals. Don't at me, bro. And the Phillies haven't made the playoffs since 2012. The Flyers are the most accomplished team of the decade, sans the Eagles. So, with that being said, I bathe in the tears of the Flyers haters. It is so good to have a goaltender. It is so good to have insane depth with more prospects on the way. Morgan Frost, Zamula, Bobby Brink. We're looking at you, brother. Pour some out for Hexy. I know they didn't make all those picks, but the guy deserves a lot more credit. Chuck Fletcher, best GM in the city. I'm ready to rock tonight. Game 5, they're taking it.
Absolutely. I'm hype. I'm gonna get the push-ups out of the way right now for chat, just so we can extinguish this, because I keep saying it, and it's got to happen. Although I got to take my headphones off, so if you do any talking, I can't hear you now.
I'm gonna have to do it because
I'm assuming I'm deaf.
The chat deserves it. So while you're doing this push-ups in your,
am I in front? Yeah, you good.
You're kind of there. I'll tell you though, dude. That looks a little awkward. That looks really awkward on camera.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and since I got the Connect Me, I got one extra for good luck. Oh my Carnage Pop took a fall.
Something took a fall.
We're missing another one.
I have multiple comments.
Spider-Man is gone.
I have multiple comments about what you just did. Multiple things popped through my head. Number one, phenomenal choice of shorts because they match so well. Your fashion sense is off the chain.
Is that
number 2?
Are you ripping them?
Yeah. Number 2.
Hey, the neon green can go with orange.
You were only in the frame when you were going up and then down. We couldn't see your arms or legs. It looks like you were doing naughty things off camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I was like,
popping the shirt will look nothing compared to what you were just doing.
Yeah, I got to figure out my right composition, but they're in. We all know. If you've seen the video on Facebook, the form is there. The form is there.
Yeah. Listen, I was impressed. People are calling for me to do push-ups in chat. Listen, I'm down 22 pounds or something crazy like that since March. So, I'm proud of myself, but it wasn't because I was working out. So, let's just leave it at that. I can't do them. I'm never going to. I'm 230. I'm 227 now. I'm down from 250. So, that's just not happening.
Keith said he's not in the room, so there's no naughtiness. That's from my heterosexual life mate. But yeah.
Co-host. They call it a co-host.
I did 11 in a shirt. Oh, so in a shirt and tie. We both did 11. That's for Connect Me, my bomb player. I always go weak. It's such a Freudian slip. My bomb player of the day and the night.
It's nuts because this series has featured 11 goals in 4 games, which is, listen, offense is tough to come by. You have 2 great goaltenders.
2 of the best in the game. I mean,
it's been the best. I love watching this because Carter Hart is being vaulted onto the national stage in the greatest way possible. And 11 goals in the series. The Flyers are being outscored 6-5 in the series, yet lead the series 3-1. Hashtag, I love playoff hockey.
Yeah, that's a good point because they took the stinker. They game 2 they took their lumps, and for anybody that's been keeping up, I picked the Flyers in 5. I was like, either game 1 or 2, they're gonna Carey Price is just gonna steal 1. What I didn't predict was the whole team coming out flat. I didn't predict Montreal having such a profound situation behind the bench, and so with Claude, I forget his name now.
Julian?
Claude Julien. Yeah, because my head, every time I say Claude, in my head it's just Drew. And I'm like, no, it's not that one. So
it's the older, fatter, balder one. I hope he's healthy. I really do.
Exactly, and we nothing but well wishes, but hopefully we can send his team home to go visit him.
Whoa. He's in. I think he's still in the bubble.
No, he's in Montreal. I think I heard.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the interim coach's name, although he was in hockey forever, so it's slipping my mind. But he had made some pretty drastic moves to the lineup that I didn't anticipate. And I'm sure him and Julian met, and Julian gave the blessing. He's not just going to go make crazy lineup changes, but they're going to do anything to try and spark that offense. But what it's been really impressive to me is the way the Flyers have responded defensively to a 5-goal outburst in game 2. Not so much Carter Hart's fault. Just kind of trying to make a statement by putting Moose in there, which I thought was the right call. Not a goal since, friends. Not a goal since Provorov. Philip Myers is just so impressive. And Travis Sanheim, his name has barely been said in this series, and that's a good thing because that means he's just doing his job and waiting the breakout. They have yet to get a goal from their top 5 goal scorers from the regular season, and they're up 3-1 in this series. Can you just imagine what this team is capable of if 2 of those 5, not even all 5, top guys get going?
I see, like you, I'm looking at like the power play unit hasn't gotten going yet. Guys like Giroux, guys like Hayes, like Coots, these guys are going to show up. And in my opinion, these are just good things. Like these are like we're up 3-1. We're about to close the game. We're about to close this series out tonight, and these things aren't working. So it's only going to get better from here.
If it was 3-1 Habs, we'd be singing a different tune.
Then the world will be on fire. Absolutely.
Yeah. What I really love is
the AV for not putting people in front and not trying to figure out how to break the umbrella power play or penalty kill. We'd be doing things. Instead, we're not. We're hype. I mean,
what I at least love is that their penalty kill has shown up. Like their special teams as a whole isn't devastated right now just because their power play is. They've scored 1 power play goal this entire playoff run, including the round robin games, but their PK has been really, really good because you have Hayes and you have Coots and even a Robert Haig who's been out of the lineup a little bit, but has come back in and given that presence. Just because, as much as I love Ghost Bear, Shane Gostisbehere and Justin Braun, that pairing just wasn't working. And I love Shane. I think he's going to be a Seattle Kraken, but at the same time, you can't pair him with a guy like Braun because Braun's just so immobile, and it's going to cause a lot of odd man rushes, or they just both stare at the puck like happened in I believe game 2 or 3. So Haig has just been a steady presence back there and a very good 5-6 defenseman for kind of playing that role.
Yeah, he's a good physical presence, which can counteract some of the speed that Montreal
and he's smart.
Presents. Yeah,
he's smart.
He's plays positional hockey. Which again, that's probably Shane Gostisbehere's biggest flaw. That and the turnovers, which are kind of one and the same. But the one thing I think you will miss from Gostisbehere's game is the power play. So we still need to see that. I do like it when Provorov mans the power play too. He's been taking the number 1.
But it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows because he's got to be a little bit more selective with the shot. I want them to shoot more pucks. Like they're just not generating a lot of shots on net. So while I appreciate Provorov doing that, you can't just close your eyes and fire. There's got to be some accuracy, and there hasn't really been a lot from the point generated. And to me, man, the best power plays are generated from the point in. It's not the down low play where you had, Wayne Simmons camped in front and there was a pass behind the goal line and he jabs in a rebound. I think it's the point shot above the chest, so it generates a rebound, and that's where you play tough in front of the net. That's where Kevin Hayes, Sean Couturier, they come in. So that's what I agree with you that Ghost could bring, especially to that second unit who's really lacking that because, Myers and Sanheim have done a decent job overall, but not quarterbacking a power play, which I think Ghost has the ability to do.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by chat, but yeah, as as far as like the penalty kill goes and his power play, like it's coming together. And as far as this whole team as a unit, we're seeing them gel right in front of our eyes. Sorry, the chat kind of threw, like, I had a thought and then I see War Room Philly and I'm like, why is my name? And then there's nothing around it, so I got like completely thrown off. So here we are. Now we're here. But go ahead. Were you gonna?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but if you want me to, listen. I am the master at doing nothing and making it seem like I'm doing something.
Score predictions from chat. Yeah. I think tonight might be an overtime game. I think it might be a 2-1 overtime game. I like Couturier, or not Couturier. I like Konechny to score.
My wild one is 3-2 double overtime Flyers win. My realistic pick 4-1 Flyers.
Yeah,
That's my prediction.
I went 3-2 overtime last night in our text thread. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Actually, I was gonna say word for word. You're sounding like you were describing a text thread between my younger brother and I, as far as the penalty kill and this. I'm like, look, they sure like putting a man in front makes sense, but it's got to come from the point. Like you gotta work with these defensemen and really start from the back out, and that's where getting a man in front really helps. And you saw in what was it, game one, Provorov's shot that Voracek, just exactly how you were talking about, get a shot about waist high. Instead of the rebound, Voracek put a deflection in on it, but that's still it's the same mindset.
Yeah,
And
you shoot low, and you risk swallow. Like you shoot high, you get the bounce off the shoulder, you get the whatever, and there's a lot less possibility of somebody laying down blocking it because it's a little higher. So that's why I go waist high. So you need a good accurate shot from the point. That way you can bounce the rebound. But I think tonight 3-2 double overtime wouldn't shock me. That's my big bold prediction: is the double OT win. Really fun. Have us clenching our whats for a while there, but I think they'll come out tonight with a purpose. I think they score another early goal in the first 10 minutes or so. You saw the last two games, 5 minutes, 7 minutes respectively. Somewhere around the 9 to 10 minute mark, they pot one, and then they move forward and they keep the foot on the throat. It's 3-0. Montreal makes it 3-1 before the Flyers put it away with an empty netter. 4-1. I think this is their statement game to go into the next round against what would be the Islanders if they can close out that series against Washington.
Yeah, it's weird because I hate the sound, but that's like I feel one of two ways. I feel like it's either going to be a low scoring, like gritty overtime win, or I think it's going to be just the Flyers show up, score early, and dominate the entire game. Yeah. I just can't figure out which one. I'm right now. There hasn't been an overtime game in this series, and I kept feeling like this series would produce one. So,
if there is a chance, it's tonight because it's a back-to-back. You know what I mean? You're coming off some tight games where a couple bounces the other way, and the Canadians are up 3-1. So it has been a very tightly contested series. So I would not be shocked if tonight's the night where it is an OT game.
Carter Hart scores a goal. Hey, I like it. Isles are
whoa. Hexy has a playoff goal.
Isles are dangerous. People are already looking ahead. That's a good.
Isles have to close out that series.
That's a good mentality for fans to have, though. I'll say that.
The Isles are dangerous.
I always like when fans are looking ahead. I never want my team to look ahead, but as fans, I think it's almost our duty to look ahead and to be excited like that. Like, so I love when I see stuff like that. I already had this morning. I woke up with, what do you think the chances are that Flyers can beat the Islanders? So I was like, whoa, okay, that's not the text I expected.
The Isles owned us in the regular season, and they're playing extremely good hockey. So it is a little bit of a scary matchup. I said the three teams I'm looking forward to playing least throughout this playoffs would be the Hurricanes, the Islanders, and the Lightning, and they're all,
playing well.
It would have been. I know that the Islanders are going to be the team just based off the reseed, but it would have been scary. But the Canes are out now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Well, 33% of those teams are eliminated. The Lightning went on today, and the Isles can go on. So, I'm still worried about it. It's not like if they win this tonight that the Stanley Cup can be hoisted. I personally, my pre-playoff prediction, when we restarted play before the round robin started, I said Colorado over the Flyers in 6 in the Cup. That was my official prediction.
I said Flyers Avs too, but I didn't give a final to that story. But yeah, I do like the Avs this year. I've liked them for a few years now. They're like when we were doing the show, I was always picking like the Sharks. It's like.
It's weird having a 2014 playoff without the Sharks.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought about that the other day for way longer than I should have.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. The Sharks are a playoff staple, and they were one of the 6 worst teams in hockey. Real quick trivia. Can you name any of the other 5?
Worst teams in hockey?
That didn't make the playoff tournament.
Oh, man. You got me on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be able to, but now I just feel like it's dead air. I don't know.
Red Wings, Senators, Sabres, Sharks, Kings, and
the team we were just talking about? I already forgot.
Oh my goodness
Chat's
gracious.
got me distracted tonight. I'm sorry. I'm saying it's like I
It's
said at the
okay.
beginning of the
We got
show.
like 10 minutes. I don't want to waste any more
It's
time
like, oh
talking
no,
about
there's no wasting. This is everything is.
non-flyer stuff.
I just keep seeing. I just the sharts.
The other team you're thinking about, my friend, is Bobby Ryan and the Ducks. So
That's
Bobby Ryan's on the Senators. They missed. Bobby Ryan came from the Ducks. They missed. Bobby Ryan's cursed. He's my guy, though. He's
come
my
the
guy.
Flyers. Come the.
That's my guy.
Yeah, him and Johnny Gaudreau. Anybody from this
Ah,
area? Anybody
yeah.
from this area? We'll just glom on.
Somebody asked. Oh, and the Devils too.
Yeah.
So I must have missed a team somewhere. Maybe I just said a team that did make it. I don't remember. But regardless, somebody said in chat, if Carter Hart gets another shutout, will I pop the shirt? I will on my personal Twitter, where if I get banned, it does not affect this show at all. At Greg Talks a Lot on Twitter. Greg Talks a Lot. And I will pop the shirt if Carter Hart gets a third.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you follow that, make sure you check out the pod too, because
thank you.
As you know, I binge your show mostly on Fridays.
It's okay. It's when we release, so it works.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I usually like to wait for a new one, and I get like 2 or 3 in at a time.
I appreciate that.
It's always, and then as you and Sam know, I usually bother one where both of you guys via text and or Twitter. But yeah, it's always a good time.
There are 31 teams in hockey, hence why I forgot the Devils. There were 7 teams that didn't make it, not 6. That's on me. My hockey knowledge was slipping there, because how could you forget the Knights? You know, I forgot about them. Forgot about 31 teams.
And we'll have
My
that
goodness.
32 coming soon too. Is the Kraken are right around the door.
32 maybe. Yeah. Yo, I love their jersey.
It's
I
awesome.
love their logo. It's so good.
I'm totally into it. It's very I love the color scheme. I like the dash of red that they found a way to throw in there. It's a good look. I won't lie.
If they don't, the Kraken, if they don't find a way to name their stadium the Crack House, they have missed.
Yes, the Crack House and the Crackheads.
Dude, they have missed. They need to do that.
Exactly.
But with a K, so it's like not
so it's appropriate.
PC.
It's appropriate. Yeah, we like to have fun here.
As appropriate as hard drugs can be.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be. It'll be cool to see. Look, Seattle is a great sports town. I mean, they should have never lost to Supersonics. You know, everyone knows it, and they should get a basketball team as well.
And it should be owned by Sean Kemp. Like, he should own it, right? Yeah. Like, that's the only way that Seattle feasibly could get a basketball team back, is if Sean Kemp single-handedly buys a basketball team. Listen, Kevin Durant is an owner of the union. There are crazier things.
Anything can happen. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Kraken is probably the worst song by Ninja Sex Party.
I don't know who those people are.
Can't say I'm familiar, but what up, Russ?
I don't know who.
Thanks for chiming in.
Is that like The Lonely Island? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably a little better.
I like Andy Samboy.
Yeah, not a fan. Can't say I'm a fan. It is what it is. But yeah, so tonight, I think now's a good time to continue chat with your War Room bomb player tonight. Again, does Carter Hart just hold the fort down? Will we see a third straight shutout? It's insane to me that I'm talking about things like that in a Flyers playoff. But yeah, personally, I'm feeling good going into this game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought one, just as all of this series has been. I think Carter Hart is going to show up. I think Travis Konechny scores. I'm looking forward to seeing Joel Farabee back in the lineup. I thought that his presence was immediately felt. Michael Raffl's been having a great time. He's been great since coming back in. Grant as a bomb player choice from Crave Money and chat. That's not a. That's an off the chain one. I like that. I like when people go with, because see, for Grant too, it's like if he does anything, that's like a good pick. You know, and I don't mean that. I don't like stat sheet wise because he's been playing phenomenal. I don't mean that as a diss. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Wow, that sounds terrible." But like, you know, he's a guy he's gonna be mucking and grinding. He's gonna be winning face-offs. He's gonna be battling in the corners. He's not.
He's the type of
Necessarily
guy where ask yourself, how the hell did Chuck Fletcher and the staff find that guy?
Yeah.
Because they gave up, I believe, a fifth for him, which is no small price to pay for a guy you've probably never heard of before. So, or at least very rarely. I mean, you think about the acquisitions of him and Nate Thompson at the deadline, you're like, oh man. But it was those small, that small Matt Stairs, J.C. Romero, Scott Air type of transaction that gets you over the hump. Those role players are needed. And I think what I heard you say is that Joel Farabee is the Phil Gosselin of the Flyers. I think I heard you say that.
You did hear that? That's it came through. It came through. I'm glad.
Instant offense. That's what I think I heard you say. The spark plug.
Except Farabee, I think actually does have talent.
What?
Whereas my boy Phil, I think is just pretty hot right now.
Wow, dude, that's a diss on Phil
See.
Gosselin. Hitting over 300 in his 2-year Phillies career. But anyway, my bomb player of the night is Kevin Hayes.
Kevin Hayes, yeah, he's gonna he gonna get off the schneid tonight.
He's gonna do one of those crazy puck possessions in the defensive zone during a PK where he spins around in circles for 5 minutes and no one can possess or dispossess him, akin to Jaromir Jagr. Just tough to get off the puck. I think he plots one, and I think he may even assist a Scott Lawton goal. So that's my prediction for Kevin Hayes.
Had himself a pretty rough series, so it would be nice, especially in an elimination game, for him to you know, kind of get a goal win or something.
Yeah.
Just get on the scoreboard.
To Titus's point in chat, I would love it if Couturier gets off the scoring schneid too. Man, he is such a dangerous weapon, and to me, one of the most underrated players in all of hockey. I know he's up for the Selke this year, but he's got to win it finally. And when I said that at the beginning of the season, I think he's one of the most underrated. Who was it? I think it was Darren Drager, or one of the big giant hockey guys on Twitter, agreed. And I was like, that's it. I quit Twitter. My life is fulfilled. I'm a happy gentleman. I love Sean Couturier. I'm with you, Titus.
Yeah, Couturier. And again, that's the thing. Like with these guys, all these big name guys that all of us are mentioning one way or another. Even with them, despite them, you know, struggling on the scoreboard, we're still winning games. We're still up 3-1. And in my opinion, it's only a positive. It's like the every game that they go without scoring or without getting a really quality chance, it's like their percentage goes up more and more. And I just see like the odds increasing. Like when it's
just like the thing where everybody just says, it's only a matter of time now. It's got to be now. So when they finally do break out, it's told you.
Yeah, like when I was like playing baseball, if I was in a slump, it's like every at bat, it's like, all right, I'm due. It would be a fake like psych out. All right, next one I got it. You know.
Well, listen, not all of us can single-handedly carry the Timber Rattlers to a championship.
Who knows? I sure as hell didn't carry to a championship.
Our best player was a tool. I don't like
took
it.
off the sorry. No, I took the glasses off. That's right. I took them off for. When I did the push-ups, but now they don't help for my vision at all. Because staring at multiple screens and stuff gives me headaches. So,
I poop too much,
and then I get tired.
Well done, thank you. Just so well done. I knew you would do that.
Oh yeah. Can't sneak one of them. Again, does the captain lead off the scoring tonight? And these are all great questions.
Lawton leads off the scoring.
I think the
TK?
scoring is going to be, you know, again, 1 or 2 goals. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a 2-1 type game. I could see, you know, TK, and then I see one of the third, maybe you know, one of the third, fourth liners getting in, maybe another Farabee, maybe something like that. But he's been all over, and he's even been, you know, up and down in the lineups. He's you know, we saw him on the top line yesterday. I think he started on the 4th and ended up on the 2nd. It was yesterday. I'm like, wait, not yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, we are playing back to back.
It's crazy though. You have Druan and Kotkaniemi and Suzuki and Brendan Gallagher and Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie. Like the Montreal lineup has a lot of firepower to it, but AV since that 5-0 game has just adjusted so well. And in a 7-game playoff series, it's punches, man. It's back and forth, punch, counter punch, and it's about the adjustment you make to the adjustment the other team made to you. And AV just has that. And now with Philly having last change, because it is technically a Philly home game, that last change is a huge deal. Let's not underestimate that, especially in an elimination type setting where you got to get off to a fast start. Does that in the first and third period with last change. I really think that that'll play a bigger role than we think, than the casual observer can kind of pick up on. I'm ready for this game as we're just minutes away from puck drop.
Yeah, I mean, AV versus Kirk Muller, I'll take AV any day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's it, Kirk Muller.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I looked it up earlier in the show, and since I had it, I was like, I gotta pull it up on the name at least once.
Thank you so
I
much.
gotta drop the name at least once since I looked it up. But yeah, he's done a lot with their lineups. I think the one thing Alain Vigneault has yet to crack, obviously we've all seen it's the power play. But again, if they feel like they can just win this series without drastically changing up their power play scheme, then so be it. You know, it's just credit to them.
You ready for this one, Ant?
Yeah, what's up?
And don't at me on this one. Well, you can. You're my friend. Alain Vigneault, best coach in the city. I said it.
Right now. Yeah, we've had this conversation a few times throughout the season. Right now, yes.
Probably overall, Dougie P. Probably overall.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a good seat like 2017 or 18. Like it's a couple years away, and especially with the starts of the last couple of Eagle seasons, coaching is part of blame in that. Yeah, AV almost like by leaps and bounds, because Girardi again has a shot to prove himself, but it's early and the team has struggled, and you know, I think part of that, you know, like we can point to, you've even mentioned Hoskins in the 2-hole. I bitch about it daily. So, you know, there's things. But yeah, AV, what can you complain about? There's nothing.
Listen, Dougie P has made the playoffs 3 years in a row and won a Super Bowl. AV took a team that didn't make the playoffs last year into the number 1 seed in 1 year.
Yeah. You don't have to. It's not like we're taking anything away from any of the other guys. Brett Brown, we can take away everything from him. But like, you know, we're not taking anything away necessarily from Doug Peterson by saying right now AV's. You're just giving him his
AV,
just due.
It's Jim Curtin and it's Dougie P. That's it. Stoop it up. Let's go.
So hit the emotional intelligence. So yeah, it's again, it's something that we've talked about many a times, but I guess just while we're on it, I think now is a good time to get anybody's final thoughts in and see it's, you know, coming up to 8:03, 8:05 ish, and I want to get out of here for puck drop. I'm sure all you do as well. So any final thoughts? It's a 2-minute warning, if you will. But now is the time, chat, to get in any and all nonsense. Alshon catches that and Wentz doesn't get hurt, though. You might be, yeah. And again, ifs, a lot of ifs, ands, you know.
Right, and that's why we're saying right now. Mm-hmm. And I literally said overall, big picture, it's Doug Peterson. But right now, AV has clicked all the right buttons. Absolutely. Where Doug Peterson has lost in the playoffs 2 straight years with a team that had to win 4 in a row just to get there. I understand all the things around that, but AV took a literal worst to first scenario, literally in 1 season with largely the same group of guys.
Yeah, added Kevin Hayes.
That's the crazy part.
You injected a more ready Carter Hart, but outside of that, I was thinking about that last game. I was like, man, this team is all but the same as last year, and look at how they look faster. Mm-hmm. Like how do they skate faster with a new coach? You know, but they look like a faster team. Everyone plays more aware. It's you know, again, like you said, how can you argue against AV?
Well, because people just look at the Super Bowl and that's it.
Yeah, and you know,
and there's more to it. I get it. they want. This is one of the greatest nights of my life. I get it, but I'm talking about right this second.
When we get a cup at the end of this run, then there's that too.
And I get to add to my tattoo.
It's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So again,
that's right. And I'm on this side of the microphone, and that's really.
So yeah. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a fun one. Keith, you know what? That's right. Keith did that one show during he had a shirt underneath, but he came with a prefab shirt ready to go for one of the Super Bowl shirts. I did Super Bowl shows. I do remember that. Yeah. But yeah, so that might be what the pop that shirt is referencing.
People are asking to see the ink. Can that be my final thought?
Absolutely.
Just show them the old Flyers ink. Let's see if I can get this in the. Can you see it?
Right now we can. There? Yes.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I'm also wearing a horrible color scheme under my orange shirt. I'm wearing blue.
It's you dress for what's on the camera.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like, isn't it an Anchorman? What the hell is the thing where he's like the dude's in like a shirt and tie, and underneath he's in like just like
it's every anchor person ever.
So yeah, perfect. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I think we've called it a night now. Greg, any other final thoughts tonight? You want to give yourself some plugs? Anything?
Yeah, I write for the Phillies, so I cover the Phillies for Sports Talk Philly and Philadelphia. So sportstalkphilly.com. Check out all my stuff over there. I am in a rotation as the co-host of the Unleashed with Mitch Williams podcast, where Mitch Williams, former Phillies legend, and we get to talk baseball every now and again. They did ask me back in the rotation actually yesterday.
That's dope.
So very, very excited that I'll be a part of that moving forward. Loved my time with Mitch, and it's pretty insane to be in the same room talking baseball with a legend. So on that, check Unleashed with Mitch Williams out. I was on the very first episode, so check that out. And I also host a podcast called We Podcast and We Know Things. It's a long one, and it's not sports. It is nerds. So like music, movies, games, TV. We actually just interviewed Ralph D'Amato. He was a producer on 8 Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, and we had him on. We talked behind the scenes of the Tony Hawk games and also the new documentary that just came out yesterday, Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story. We had him on talking about that. One of the best documentaries you could watch right now. So check out my show, We Podcast and We Know Things. You can follow us on Instagram at We Podcast and We Know Things, all one word. And I'm on Twitter at Greg Talks a Lot.
Beautiful. Yeah. Again, I can't recommend all of that enough. I listened to the first episode, you and Mitch, and phenomenal, outstanding.
It was humongous, big deal for me.
So yeah, again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Stick with us, facebook.com/WarRoomPhilly. If we do any live hits, anything based more around this Flyers team and this run, we're going to be giving you as much content as we can. So thank you. We'll keep all the push-ups. Shout out to Fat Rocky Barbecue. I see you in chat. So on that note, I am Anthony Pinto.
And I'm Greg Hall.
And we are out of here.